Uai. Fazer uma parada aqui. Não sei porque que o jogo fica mudo quando eu dou Alt Tab, mas fazer o que? Ai. Ai. Pronto.
But it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not so weak now, are we? Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they? Ha ha! Nah! It's my store. I'm taking it. We're on a comeback tour, baby. Hammer's Way will have it say, rise up in their name.
Hartman kept talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
Nee. Investigue o tumulto, mas não tem nada. Ah, tem ali. Deixa eu ver aqui. Tá, eu acho que vai ser direto ali mesmo.
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office wing from Sinclair.
The backstage is all yours, Tom. Seize your destiny.
I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them. The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made at the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
Now, Mrs. Wake, can you tell me about Alan's problems?
He's more and more out of control all the time. The parties, he's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
Do you mean with you?
Tô ao vivo, mãe. Tô ao vivo.
No,
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake. What would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you. Looking out from behind your eyes, and I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No, no. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems, always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him, and we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home. Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, but Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going to listen to you and cooperate. He's the most stubborn man I've ever met.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a cut-up of this. Just a recording.
É a mesma fita,
Rudolph
será?
Lane's case is interesting. He was completely blocked, and frankly, I was about to discard him as useless. However, once Wake arrived and started writing, something changed in Rudolph. He's producing extraordinary work, increasingly dark pieces. Unfortunately, he doesn't respond to direction at all, and it's my belief that he's not so much a creator as an illustrator, perhaps, a recorder of sorts. I hadn't considered the existence of such a role before, let alone its implications, but the paintings he has produced are informative. At least he's easily controlled and useful. I wish I could say the same about Wake. It's frustrating that the best subjects are always so damn difficult to deal with.
Not buying that. I was tailing Wheeler, and this is the only place he could have gone. That means Wake is probably there too!
Agent Nightingale, this is private property, and I will not allow you to disturb my patients.
Yeah? I can get a warrant. How are your fragile little patients like that?
Oh, I'm thoroughly intimidated by your mighty authority now, Agent.
Listen, you smug snob. How would you like it if I busted through this gate and knocked you around a little?
Agent Nightingale, first of all, I'm recording this conversation, so you might want to watch what you say. Secondly, you're not dealing with a hick now. I know the law, and if you can get a judge to grant a warrant, I'll be glad to cooperate. But you won't get one. Be advised that any further communications with me are to be made through my lawyer.
I don't believe this.
Good day, Agent.
Yeah.
Tá, isso aqui são as pinturas que o cara fez. Depois eu vou jogar essa porra no 360 só pra ver a diferença, mano. Que deve ser muito grande. Olha que foda os quadros.
Hartman wasn't happy. Mott could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time, and he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan. The photo on the wall caught my attention. In it, the clinic staff was standing outside the lodge. I knew the man next to Hartman. He was the kidnapper. Hartman had been playing me all along.
Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna chew your crazy quack ass to shreds! Seriously, do you have any idea how much trouble you're in?
Barry?
Ow! About time!
Barry, man, am I glad to see you.
We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. speaking of asses, that Fed gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue where you were. That guy's crazy, Al. But he let me go, and then I get a call from Hartman, that son of a bitch, who tells me you're here, and I should come pick you up, but when I got here, 2 goons clobbered me and stuck me in there.
Pô, bateram no maluco.
What's with the cutout?
I stole it from the diner to piss off Rose after what she did to us. That'll teach her.
Yeah, that's a harsh punishment. Come on, pal, we gotta get going.
Puta que pariu. O cara roubou o bagulho da lanchonete.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Caralho, o cara ficou feliz em ver o maluco morrendo.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning, even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach. The dark presence would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out.
Eu só peguei uma arma, não peguei uma... Ah, tem uma lanterna aqui, quer ver? Ai, ai, tem não. Oxi. Tá, acho que dá pra ir agora. Ô, caralho.
Hartman knew he was no creator, He had no ambitions on that front, and he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Será que se eu voltar lá atrás tem alguma coisa? Ah, se bem que não dá pra voltar, né? Aqui não vai ter nada, porque tá preto ali. Ô caralho. Ah, eu acho que eu vou ter que usar a pelota pra quebrar a porta. Ah, bom. Aí.
Al, Al! I'm here!
Opa, uma garrafa de café bem ali.
Hey, come on! We gotta get going! Al, I'm over here!
Tô vendo, caralho.
I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al! Oh, God! Look at the house, Al! Oh, geez, Al! The house looks bad! Let's get out of here!
Não, esse aqui não fecha sozinho.
Al, hurry up! I
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-size stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate. Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
Tá. Quando ela me ligar, se precisar.
You'll be nice and calm all day long. You get 3 bells in the evening. And then you'll sleep like a baby. Like things to be lost. That way you'll have me try. I don't have to.
Acertei um tiro no corpinho dele voando. Tá, só dei a volta à toa.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Nossa, muito cagado, velho. Sem querer eu puxei a mira e acabou sendo exatamente nos bichos. Ai! Tem mais? Só tem esse. Vamos ver se consigo matar 2 com um tiro só. Pulinho. Esse carrinho vai querer me bater. Falei?
For the moment, Barry was just glad he had survived the fall. He had been separated from Al, and there was no easy way to climb back up. He told himself he'd be okay in the gloomy forest at night. He would just have to wait for a while for Al to find his way down. Barry turned when he heard the heavy footsteps and saw the movement. The man-shaped shadow lunged at him from the bushes, an axe held high. Barry screamed and threw up his hand. The world exploded.
Ah, gay. Não entendi. Pera, acho que é gay. Tá falando que eu sou gay? Eu não entendi. Ah, sei lá. Foi tipo muito aleatório, tá ligado? E aí eu não sabia se era a situação ou se era de mim que você tava falando. Ficou muito bem feito o remaster, velho. Eu vi que eles no canal deles eles postaram o aniversário de 20 anos do Max Payne. O ator que fez o personagem até postou fez um vídeo com a roupa do Max Payne. Achei muito da hora. Eu quero saber daquele vídeo que eu mandei no grupo lá, tipo, que tinha um código QR e eu fiz a leitura de um código QR numa sala do jogo. Ficou legalzinho, né? Tipo, eu queria que fosse o mais limpo possível, tá ligado? Só que eu ainda achei meio poluído, mas foi o mais limpinho que eu achei. Eu sei que tem certeza que tem alguma coisa, mano, pra vir, porque eles recentemente lançaram aquele Control e aquela DLC. Beleza. E veio a DLC do AWE, se eu não me engano, que tipo é um outro nome, mas dá pra traduzir como Alan Wake Expansion, tá ligado? E aí, tipo, tem o Alan e o mundo de Control se passa no mesmo mundo de Alan Wake. Então tem alguma coisa, tá ligado? E aí eles lançaram, aquele vídeo que eu mandei foi postado em maio desse ano. Então, tipo, é muito recente. E eu não sei se a data de lançamento do remaster foi recente, tá ligado? Pois é, velho. E tipo, sei lá, eu ainda acho que vale muito a pena fazer uma sequência ou alguma coisa a ver com Alan Wake, tá ligado?
The man was bullheaded, no doubt. Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break Wake down, give him proper direction. Wake was easily the most promising subject he had had. Well, since Tom, really. Sleep well, Alan, Hartman whispered with a smile. Let me take care of you. He sniffed hard to clear his throbbing nose, swallowed blood, and barely tasted it.
Uma IP? A IP seria o quê? Uma engine, alguma coisa assim? Suave, mano, não tem erro não. Já é uma grande ajuda você aparecer e trocar uma ideia rápida aí, mesmo que seja por um pouquinho. Ah, bota fé.
Ow! You're alive!
Sou o principal do
Let's get out of
respeito.
here. Can you open this gate?
Maybe.
Barry!
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so,
Barry!
I'll find it.
Isso é
Don't worry
maneiro.
about it.
Hein, ó a pose de quem vai dar uma surra no gordão. Ih, caralho. Bem um de cada vez, viu?
Hurry up, Barry!
Ah, não pegou? Vai ser bom. Ah, filho da puta. Ah, teu cu. Ah. Não era isso que eu queria.
Al, please tell me we're headed for the nearest "You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon" sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
I'm crazy, but that's fine, Barry.
Oh, you got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the
But
craziest.
maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can...
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. We just need to find it. Look out!
Eu acho tudo nesse jogo maneiro. Acho que a forma de contar a história é muito foda. Eu acho bem injustiçado o jogo.
I had lost my gun in the crash. Barry was nowhere to be seen.
Barry! Barry!
Oh,
Né?
man, you're okay! Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way! Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
O cara tá preocupado com o bagulho de papelão, velho.
Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall. Ah, Al, there's something moving down here!
Barry, it's a taken! Use a flare, Barry!
Oh, yeah!
Ah, esse cara é
Barry,
muito
are you
bom.
alright?
I'm good, Al. I'm great. Guess you never mess with anyone from New York City. They're gonna have to hide in my
Pra mim esse é das fases mais legais.
Barry, just wait for me, okay?
Al, I'm not staying here. It's suicide. I'm going to the farm. I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area. You can catch up. Don't worry about it. I'm on the case.
Now he's Rambo.
Agora
This would
virou
turn
Rambo.
into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
Boing. Ai, nossa, mas... Quem me bateu primeiro me salvou do segundo.
When he stopped the car at the Anderson farm, Walter felt relieved. Oblivion was close at hand. The brothers wouldn't miss a jar of moonshine or two in the booby hatch. But then he saw the man on the porch, and he knew who it was. Driving for his life and knowing it was useless, he didn't realize he was crying until he couldn't see the road for the tears.
Ai, tomei. Nossa, mas ia tomar muito. Vai, homem. Aí. Eu vi, né? Fala que não tem como virar o bagulho. Ah, sou foda. Não sei se, não lembro se tem uma garrafa por aqui. Eu sou bem querido, né? Tem aqui em cima a garrafinha aqui. Pega, 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 pega. Ai, 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 pega, pega. Errou. Corre, 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 corre. Cara é muito sedentário, velho. Puta merda.
Shadows crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get through.
Sou eu correndo. Tá louco, mas esse maluco não... Você ainda deve aguentar correr pelo menos uns 5 segundos. O cara aguenta correr 2, tá ligado? Nossa, agarrou o pé ali.
Agent Nightingale stared at the passed out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
Pra mim essas cenas que eu não tenho arma são
I
muito
hope
mais
there'd still
agoniantes
be a
do
working
que...
generator somewhere around here to power up the old lights by the gate.
que não tem arma e nem lanterna é mais agoniante do que ter uma arma e uma lanterna.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Tá, pelo menos tem uma lanterna. Eu acho que é uma frase muito válida, né? Não confie em ninguém no escuro, ou da escuridão, ou... Como que é o nome que eles dão pros bichos? É... os possuídos, né? Eu não confio em gente no claro, imagina no escuro. Eu tô precisando de algo que faz bem pro coração, porque eu não aguento correr. Aí. Aí, trollou. Eu não vou conseguir ligar esse bagulho. Sai! Ah, morri. Corre, filho da puta. Pera aí. Ah, não, velho. Porra! Ah, deixa eu morrer, vai.
I could sense the
Exatamente.
movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
O cara anda preto, fala preto, veste preto. Ó, passando, corre lá na frente, tu viu? Aqui, safado. Tá chegar correndo o mais rápido que eu puder. E vou tentar acender o bagulho. Vai, 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 vai. Ah, nem fudendo. Morri. Ei! Ó, filho da puta. Corre. Tropecei. Nossa! Putz! Nossa, mas eu virei um Neo aqui,
A
velho.
car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
Nossa, mas eu tava sem nada de vida. Se pega qualquer um daqueles machadinhos, ele podia ser só o cabo, não precisava nem ser o machado, não. Só o cabinho acertasse na nuquinha ali já era.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If it was Barry, I would see the damage soon.
Era barbeiro, será?
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path. The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. But it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
Ó, uma garrafa de café ali em cima.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before. Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
Quero saber como sobe agora. Ai. O cara me salvou da armadilha de osso na base da porrada. O bagulho tá voando? Impressão minha. Tá voando. Ai! Nossa, mas eu gelei muito. Caralho. Ai. Nossa, mas que...
could see the car, but there was no sight of the driver.
Me.
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
Caraca, ele deu uma bugada forte ali.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie. The best friend's something bad guy who wrote this crap anyway.
Te ajudar, amigo. Tá bom, e morreu.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who will help me. I'll make it happen.
Caralho, que viagem.
Let me guess. Danny, huh? The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast. For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated. An emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
Tá porra.
If Barry wasn't up here, he was probably in trouble down at the farm. For a moment, I felt bad for doubting him. After all, I made it this far myself. But Barry was Barry.
No meio do nada a porra da garrafa de café. Mano, que agonia essa respiração. Posicionado perfeitamente. Refil de caça. E quantas balas vai ter? 14. E a shot já tem. Pega. 8. Vou pegar o rifle. Foda-se.
Well, as I'm sure everyone's noticed, that storm we all felt coming is finally here. The boys at the Weather Service reckon it'll last until morning at the very least. Pertaining to that, let me read that missing persons alert again. The Sheriff's Department's still looking for a Caucasian woman, 30 years old, slim and blonde with blue eyes. She may be lost in the woods, and it's possible she's been injured in a car accident. If you see her, please make sure you get her indoors and call the sheriff. It's bad weather to be caught out in, so if you see someone in the area who maybe looks a little confused, give him a hand, all right? This is Pat Maine on KBF FM, hoping you're all safe and warm tonight.
ali ou é impressão minha?
You've gotta be kidding.
Prestar atenção não. Pra mim essa é uma das melhores cenas do jogo. Será que me acerta? Não, só me empurra assim. Porra da respiração, velho. Quero sua filha, não. Os comedores de bode. Oxi! Eu errei o bicho. Eu jurei que tinha uma casinha, uma cabaninha pra lá. Ah, é o banheiro.
I'd known the brothers used to be some kind of rock stars, but it hadn't really sunk in until I saw the stage.
Ow! Run! Incoming! There's too many of them!
God damn!
I'm so glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Bronson.
Pega. Oxi! Aí quando eu mudo de ideia e mando ele fazer outra coisa, ele pega a arma. Que porra.
So glad you decided to go it alone, Mr. Ron.
Deixa eu fazer uma parada aqui. Porra. Porra.
Here we go! Barry Wheeler to the rescue! Sentry wiring! I'll get them working again, I promise!
Bright Falls, rock and roll capital of America.
Hey, Al! This way to the farm!
Acho que é só isso mesmo que tem. O cara trouxe a porra do papelão.
See, bestseller, no reason to worry. Your cutout's good as new, right where I left it. I'll come back for it once we have the place secured.
Yeah, that's been my biggest worry all this time. We need to get this thing moved out of the way.
This is as far as I got before they ambushed me.
Acho que não vai ter nada aqui não. Opa, tem sim.
As the deputies hauled Wake and Wheeler away, Agent Nightingale eagerly examined the stack of papers Wake had been carrying. It was incomplete, a collection of random pages, but there was enough. He saw his own name in there, among others. His hands shook with emotion. Finally, it was proof. He had been right all along.
Isso nem começou a chover ainda, hein?
Hey, I think Alan Wake here has something to say. What's that, Al?
Oh, I'm Alan Wake. I'm always right about everything. And if I don't get my way, I'll sulk all day long. I'm always intense and moody. It makes me very attractive and mysterious. Right now, I'm just standing here because I need my best friend Barry to carry me. But that's okay. I can just take him for granted.
I think I see what you did there. You want me to do my imitation of Barry Wheeler? No? Thought so.
Thing, Al? They really went all out with this Viking crap, didn't they? Look at all this stuff. They must have done okay for themselves.
Sleep. We all spend a third of our
Night
dreams in
Springs.
its soft embrace,
Man,
somewhere
brings back
between
memories.
fantasy and
Hey,
reality.
remember when I got you that gig?
But
Your
dreams
first
have a
real
way of
writing
forcing
job. What got you
themselves into
started?
real life,
Was this one of your
or
episodes?
Vice versa. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, The Dream of Dreams.
That's by someone else.
We join Mr. Jones as he explores the endless dreamscape, only to be brought to a sudden stop by a decidedly mundane situation. A long line of people.
Hey, Jones, right? Listen, we're gonna have to wait until His Highness over there is good and ready. Oh, wow. Who's that? You don't know him? What are you, new? He's the guy dreaming us. Well, not just us. He dreams everything. All of this.
But wait, no. I'm the one who's dreaming. I'm asleep. Isn't this my dream?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Get real, pal. You're just another dream. I'm a dream. You're a dream. The weirdo in the diving suit is a dream. And the girl made of smiles and sunshine is definitely a dream.
But I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming this.
Well, maybe you're a really confused dream. What am I, a shrink? All I know is I'm going with the smart guys. And they say that's the guy doing the dreaming. Right there.
I don't know what that means.
It means we keep him happy. No sudden falls. We make sure he has his clothes on when he goes out in public. No chases where the monster is nipping at his heels and he runs like crazy, but his legs don't seem to get him anywhere. None of that. Because if he wakes up in a cold sweat... Yeah, precisely. So we wait till he wants to move on. Keep things nice and calm.
Hey, something's happening here.
Yeah? What's that?
What? Can't you hear that?
Oh, God help us, it's an alarm clock. Oh, it's you, isn't it? Please, man, I got a wife and kids. Please don't wait.
What the fuck, velho?
It's 1976. Madness reigns at the Anderson farm. Contrary to all logic, the headiest ingredient of their moonshine is unfiltered water from Cauldron Lake. The Andersons feel like gods. Odin can't stop laughing. He contemplates cutting his eye out. Tor runs across the field, naked, shrieking, hammer in his hand, trying to catch lightning. Their songs have power. Something ancient is stirring in the depths, coming back. The Viking boat looked imposing, almost like a battering ram.
Oba! E aí? Em que sentido? Ah, não, eu só tava... Só tava olhando em volta só pra saber se tinha algum... Como que fala? Algum colecionável e pá. Mas era só quebrar a porta. Ai, caralho. De que outra forma mais usaríamos um barco? Você tem um bom ponto. Cadê o Barry? Tá, aqui é um galinheiro. Nossa, já tá aí, corno.
Wow! Those geezers had quite a production going on. Ooh, you know what, Al? If we make it through this alive, I'm gonna start representing them. Yep, sell this stuff online, maybe get a reality show going, release a new single.
Good luck with that, pal.
Hey, you find us a way out here, okay? I'm gonna take a closer look at this stuff.
Ele dá umas bicudinhas muito esdrúxulas nas coisas. Sim, todo mundo, na verdade. Todo, tipo... ele achava que era as coisas da cabeça dele, mas na real todo mundo consegue ver. O gordinho, a policial, o agente lá, todo mundo. Tipo assim, todo mundo duvidava dele até ver de verdade, tá ligado? Se não me engano tem uma cena que é os três, é ele, a policial e o gordinho lá. Afundar. Ah. Bom.
As you regular listeners know, I tend to work through the
Peraí.
night, but I'm not the only one. Deputies Mulligan and Thornton are taking a couple of moments off their busy schedule to join me here in the studio. Boys, how busy are you now? Deerfest is almost here, isn't it? I bet that keeps you in business.
Pretty busy, yeah. Actually, Pat, we've been real busy with other stuff, which concerns an ongoing investigation. We can't talk about that, Thornton. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just saying we got, you know, other irons to fry.
And how would you compare your workload to last year's? Things have seemed relatively peaceful to me, but people do tend to get a little wild this time of year.
Oh, it's wild, Pat. It's pretty wild. There's been all sorts of trouble this year. Vandalism, fighting, public disturbances. A lot of people gone missing, too. Yeah, it's pretty much the usual stuff, Pat. Just, you know, a lot more of it.
Now, is it just me, or does Deerfest get wilder every year? People seem to be more drunk, at least, or they start earlier and younger.
Oh, it's definitely not just you, Pat, but... Definitely, Pat. Hey, I'm talking here, Thornton. Oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought.
Not just me.
Oh, yeah, it's wilder, Pat, but actually most of the trouble seems to be coming from grown men. People who ought to know better, you know? Kids are doing fine this year.
Well, that's nice to hear at least. Boys, I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll let you get back to your patrol.
Sure thing, Pat. Yeah, sure thing, Pat.
Até então, ele não tem esposa, que ela desapareceu. Então ele pode deduzir, estou viúvo, então eu posso brocar alguém. Qual o problema, né? Dá vontade de ficar parado ouvindo as músicas, velho.
I could see the building that had to be the Andersons' home on the other side of the field. It wasn't far now. I wasn't worried about trusting the ramblings of two burned-out geriatric wrecks. They had the goods.
Não vai dar nada, eu sou casado. Agora é o Frank. Morri. Nossa. Informação aleatória, velho. Exato, eles sempre falam alguma coisa, tá ligado? Mas essa foi a mais aleatória das frases que eu já ouvi. dos bichos. Acho que eu vi um trem brilhando ali, ó. Acho que é coisa da minha cabeça. Será uma lâmpada ou uma página? Porque se for uma página eu perdi ela, não tem que jogar de novo pra pegar ela. Eu achei que aquela porra é uma página. Cara, eu acho que é pra mim ir lá mesmo. Eu acho que ele não abre não. Vou ter que dar a volta. O cara não consegue pular a porra de uma cerca.
Al? Is that you out there, buddy?
Porra.
Yeah, it's me.
Hey, let's go, man.
É, provavelmente eu tenho que jogar de novo. Qual é, gordinho? Consegue abrir a porta? Tá de sacanagem, gordinho.
I think that's the farm on the other side of the field. We're almost there. This farm is a crazy place for crazy people.
We should feel right at home then.
Come on, one more gig. Let's do this thing.
Não dá pra burlar o jogo e voltar lá pra pegar ó, as páginas. Isso ali é água ou é um buraco? Olha só. Tem pedra ali, o que que é?
You know, this place looks kind of lifted. I thought the Andersons wanted the booby hat.
Again, Alice's screams rang in the stillness of the night. I saw myself run toward the cabin, flashlight in my hand. I followed my past self. I was an out-of-body observer, a time traveler in a crazy drunken dream. This was the beginning. The night Alice had disappeared. The mystery of what had happened during the missing week was about to reveal itself.
Tá, eu sei que tem que apertar ali. Acredito que se eu apertar vai dar uma cutscene. Então eu vou fuçar aqui primeiro. E ver se não tem nada pra coletar. Sai, gordinho.
power downstairs was out, but I was sure I could fix that at the fuse box.
Can you hear that, Al? Music?
Of course. We need to find where it's coming from. That's the message the Andersons talking about. That's the whole reason we're here.
Lady of the Light? Oh, that's gotta be... What's-her-face? The crazy lamp lady from the town.
Cynthia Weaver.
Right. Must be.
Okay.
We need to find Cynthia Weaver. We'll stay here for the night and head back to town as soon as it gets light.
Hey, Al. Lots of hours before dawn. Might as well get some rest. And by rest, I mean drunk.
Come on, Barry, this is... Yeah, what the hell?
Seriously, listen. I know we don't get along, but we're gonna find her, right? Even though you're a crazy bastard, I'm gonna stick by you, no matter what, ever, Al. Sure, you're like a brother.
I'm a writer, goddammit.
Correct.
If I just wanted to, I could write 10 books a year. And they'd be the best books that year.
No, you couldn't.
That's right, I couldn't. But I could, because I'm a writer.
What do they put in this stuff? I feel like my brain is coming out of my nose. I'm gonna get the recipe off those croots and be a booze millionaire.
I just miss her, Barry. I just want her here with me.
I know, Al. I know. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it okay.
It was a crazy, drunken dream, and yet it was more than that. It was the truth, a suppressed memory unearthed by the Andersons' moonshine. I was there, an out-of-body observer. This was the night Alice and I had arrived at Bright Falls, the night Alice had disappeared. I had a chance to find out what had happened. I remembered being surprised to see the cabin dark. Alice would have never turned the lights off. I remembered thinking I caught a glimpse of her form underwater, sinking into the darkness. Diving after her was the last vague memory I had of that night. After that, the next thing I could remember was waking up behind the wheel of the crash car and finding the first pages of the manuscript. I couldn't find her in all that blackness. I must have thought she drowned.
Alice!
Jagger had Alice, and so she had me.
Alice!
I'd been easy prey.
Look at the cabin. Is there someone in the window?
Alice?
Maybe she didn't drown after all. Maybe she's inside.
Alice!
Yes.
The dark presence had touched me. She had dug her nails into my brain and used me, made me her puppet.
She must be here somewhere. Maybe upstairs in the study.
Alice!
Yes, that's where she is.
Alice?
She's not here. You were foolish to think so. No, she's dead. She drowned.
No, no, no!
It's your fault your wife is dead. You are guilty. All she wanted was to help you right. You killed her. Oh, hush. There's still hope. Cauldron Lake is a special place. Here, you have the power to change things. She wanted you to write. I will tell you what to do. You can write her back. The story will come true, and all will be well again.
She had Alice, and the manuscript was the ransom for her. Yes. All right. I'll fix it. I'll bring her back. No. I wrote it. I remembered it all now. In the dark, I'd written for days, a week, almost a complete manuscript of a novel entitled Departure. Jagger had been my editor, whispering in my ear, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. I thought I was saving Alice. Even with the cobweb she put in my head, some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story, to bring a light into the cabin to release me before I could finish, to interrupt the horror story before the ending, where darkness consumed everything and everyone. Zane was weak and far away, but I had written him into the story, and his light had been enough to set me free.
It isn't here now. I'm here because it was written. I brought the light to set you free. You must hurry. We'll know I'm here. It will be back soon. It stole the skin of my art a long time ago. She looks so old.
I had woken up, confused and groggy, my mind consumed by darkness and fear. All I could do was to escape. The week spent in the cabin had taken its toll. I was barely conscious, and fading fast. It had to have cost Zane terribly, thrown him even deeper into whatever dark place he now haunted. But he had managed to weaken the dark presence, kept me safe that night.
I wrote it. It's my fault.
That's right, James Joyce. It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
Vou pegar uma água antes de ir pro próximo.
There's an old road with mystery of town for poet and his muse, and a magic lake which gave a knew she was his happiness, and he rhymed about her grace and told the stories of treasures deep beneath the blackened waves. Till in the stillness of wonder, and still in its misty crown, the moon she went down to the lake, and in the waves she drowned. And now to see your love set free, you will need the witch's cabin key. Find the lady of the light, gone mad with the night. That's how you reshape destiny. The poet came down to the lake to call out to his dear.
Previously on Alan Wake. Under the influence of the dark presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true. Jagger had been my editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
Well, we're expecting a record crowd from the neighboring counties. Naturally, we hope to break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Watery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up. Let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
I have it. Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light.
All the manuscript pages were gone. The FBI agent had taken them.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth. Ugh. Oh, wait, we're in jail now? Ow. This is not good.
That about sums it up.
Não vomitou nada ali.
Oh, I am never drinking again.
I need to talk to Weaver. She's the one in the song. The Lady of the Light.
What, the crazy lady? Ugh, whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff. And let me tell you, it was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. There's no way you're walking out of here. You hear me in there, Bret Easton Ellis? Huh?
Agent Nightingale, I want to talk to your superior.
Well, we all want things, Sheriff. I wanted my... Look, that's not possible right now.
Agent Nightingale, I insist. Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The only way you're leaving this place is over my dead... Wait a minute. I know this...
Oh my God!
Light. We need light. It's the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
Oh, man.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel.
We're sitting ducks with the lights out.
Steak.
Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the déjà vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
Cool. I can get the emergency power on.
Ela tava em cima do banco me esperando. Caralho.
Here are your things. Wait, what do I need to know?
Vocês não apagam a lanterna, não? Por isso que tem que ficar pegando bateria o tempo todo.
Only in the light, and I need to find Cynthia Weaver. She can help me stop this.
Light. Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there pretty quickly in the rescue chopper. Come on, let's get back to your friend. Wheeler, I need you to stay here.
What? No.
We're going to fetch our ride, but I have friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in two places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list. Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one. Okay, let's go, Wake. Through the back.
Pelos fundos, só danada. Porra, o cara pensando em comida. Ele tirando a arma sozinho das costas dela.
Oh, hell. Whatever took Nightingale must have broken the gate controls. We can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
Are you sure? Okay then, but hurry.
I needed to reach the rooftop to get to the other side of the broken gate.
Hey, Sheriff! Your password. Night Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though. You need to bypass the damaged control box.
What am I, an electrician? Hold on!
Ow, damn! That's smart.
Good job, Wade. Okay, stick close. Our first stop is the town hall. The keys to the chopper are there.
The air smelled of fish. This was Bright Falls industrial area. There was probably a cannery nearby.
mulher tava aqui agora, mano. Com a arma errada sem querer. Gastei uma bala de sinalizador à toa.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
The same thing I think happened to me after I arrived.
During this week, you can't remember?
Oh, I remember now. Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
Ai, moça. Caralho, que susto!
And I thought New Yorkers were rude.
You have the right.
Watch my back, Wade.
It's an ambush.
Right there. Let's go, Wade. Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury-rig it while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
Fine. They should be in the clerk's office on the other side of the building, near the main entrance.
Gotcha.
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again. But meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer.
The keys aren't upstairs, Wake.
I'm just gonna take a quick look.
The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station. He wanted us to hurry.
Okay, Sheriff. I got the key.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Oh God! Oh God!
Barry! Look out! Barry, move! Barry!
He made it inside, Wake. He's okay. The storefront's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around. We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the back.
Keep it the hell down or I'll call the sheriff! Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know! Go back to bed! He's got a point, Wade.
Folha atravessando a parede. Nada aqui, mano.
They're really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of my own writing. Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
I don't see Barry.
Look! Wait! Maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
Suspeito.
Barry got back to his feet inside the Bright Falls General Store and dusted himself off. Right next to the cans of baked beans was a locked case filled with flare guns, and yet here was a conveniently placed barrel of crowbars. Barry's smile widened as he realized that this was the classic movie scene where the hero had to gear up and arm himself to the teeth.
Muito bom. Você tem a chave de tudo também, né?
I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. I told him to get it fixed.
Physical labor. Let's take a break. Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Essa ainda tô perdida. Bugou.
Okay, it's open. Let's go, Wake.
Eles abrem a porta com a cara, mano.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deer Fest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
We're almost there. We'll have to go through the basement to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
Did you call 911?
Guess that one saw the light, huh? You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection, man! Like garlic against vampires?
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on!
General Store is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor.
Ai, caralho.
Hey, I want a headlamp. Bastard.
Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
I'll need a while to prep for takeoff.
Don't take too long. I want to get out of here.
Just get me to Weaver, Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
I hope you know how to deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right, the city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kinda like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of our local rock legends, the Old Gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, yeah, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall and their latest single, War.
Do you remember standing on a broken field? White crippled wings beating the sky. The harbingers of war with their nature.
The power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across. Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the rider. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest. The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Hello, Martha. What did you want to show me?
Oh, Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Oh, I guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, it was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start, but I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh, my.
Listen, ladies, I'm telling you, I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. Night Springs.
Mano, que bagulho aleatório, velho.
We managed to lose the flock. You're almost at the power plant. Keep going. We'll give you support.
I recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Hold it right there!
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it!
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time. Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I have a secret room. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's drained all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I have been preparing for these times, the dark tides. You have found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people can. Yes, please. Take what you need. This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we? Hurry! The switch is on the wall facing the shore.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades. I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it. finds these things. The transponder yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
Rapaz, eu já perdi as contas de quantas vezes eu completei ele. Só que eu completei no 360, né? Aí agora eu tô jogando... Cara, melhorar não melhorou não, mano. Mas ultimamente não tá tendo o que fazer, velho. Aí eu preferi tentar distrair a cabeça um pouco. Aí eu resolvi, tipo, eu vi que lançou o Remaster, né? E é um jogo que eu gosto pra caralho. Eu falei, que custa, né? Aí se eu conseguir voltar a fazer direitinho, eu tô pensando... eu vi eu lembrei que esse tinha colocado... Aí eu tô vendo se acabando aqui, né? Zerando e tal. Aí eu faço as DLCs desse jogo, depois tô pensando em fazer aquele Control, né? Que parece que se passa no mesmo universo de Alan Wake também. Aí eu vou ver se consigo fazer. Ô caralho. Vai que agora abre. Ah, é aqui. Aí eu tô vendo aí. Não tá dando muita gente pra assistir, mas pelo menos... Aí tipo, como é jogo offline, não tem que focar muito em gameplay, né? Que é tipo, tem que prestar atenção no jogo, aí não tem problema. Tá bom? Tipo, o áudio, os bagulho tá de boa aí pra escutar direitinho, porque como eu não tava tendo ninguém assistindo, o André tinha dado uma assistida, mas não comentou nada se estava ruim ou se estava... Aí eu não sei se...
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, the pipe's empty now. We're ready to go. This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man. I was jealous.
Porra.
There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the
perfeito então, mano. O meu medo era ele tá travando, tá ligado?
And woke the darkness up. He tried to bring it back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. Which looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my game, in case it happened again. Insurance.
Eu já achava esse jogo muito foda, agora que tipo, ele tá legendado em português.
Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there.
Agora que ele tem a legenda em português que eu tô entendendo 100%, tá ligado? Nossa.
Trapped in a story, and none of us will survive to see the end of it if the darkness isn't stopped. She'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me. In television, beyond, from below. He saved us both from life. The darkness stays with you. Resist me. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello?
Eu acho muito legal a forma que é
Barry,
contado os
we're
bagulhos,
headed to
velho.
the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry!
Tinha uns bagulho que eu nem sabia que dava pra fazer.
We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
Os pulinhos dele é muito engraçado, velho.
At least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
Caralho, aí sim, hein? O cara compra o jogo nem joga. Eu conheci esse jogo num canal que tinha na Sky, velho. Que passava... Era tipo um top 10, tá ligado? E aí eles passavam clipes de música... Clipes de música não, clipes de jogos com músicas que você escolhia, tá ligado? Nossa. Porra, o cara... Desculpa, mas o cara que para pra jogar FIFA ou PS, sei lá, mano. Pra mim ele perde tempo, desculpa, velho. Se eu quiser jogar bola, eu acho que eu vou na quadra, tá ligado? Eu jogo bola de verdade, não no videogame. O remaster ficou muito bem feito, velho. Eu não esperava
Sarah
ficar...
was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
Pois é, tipo, já que ele já joga futebol na quadra, por que raios eu jogaria também no videogame, tá ligado? Eu jogaria alguns outros jogos. Eu dei uma olhada nos comparativos no site, né? Tipo, a única coisa que eu achei bizarro foi a cara do Alan. A cara dele ficou meio esquisita, parece que eles achataram a cara dele, sei lá. Mas ainda assim tá muito bem feito. Em vista de alguns remaster que algumas empresas fazem, tipo, tá bem feito pra caralho. Você vê realmente uma grande diferença. Tipo, tem jogos que você vê que os caras fazem o remaster, mas tipo... No máximo o cara deixou em HD, não poliu nada. O Resident Evil 4, por exemplo, os caras fizeram 3 remasters. Fizeram HD, aí depois o Ultra HD e depois o Ultimate HD Edition, sei lá, alguma coisa assim. E todas as vezes o jogo não ficou tão bem feito quanto deveria. Os caras não fizeram nada, tá ligado? É um bagulhinho que é forte pra caralho nesse jogo, é a iluminação, velho. Oxi! Acabei de andar em círculo, velho. Já leio o comentário, peraí, deixa eu só sobreviver aqui. Aqui mesmo? É, aqui mesmo. Boto fé. Então... Agora que tenho todas essas informações, não dá pra jogar o cara. Que isso, mano? Mas ele já tá melhor já? Você é louco? Tipo, ele já melhorou, já recuperou do susto, né? Porque, tipo... Ou ele ainda tá, tipo, tendo acompanhamento, alguma coisa.
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
Caralho, você tá louco, mano, um bagulho desse. No caso, ele deu aquelas paralisia. Ele chegou a dar uma sequela de paralisia. Tá louco, mano. Tomara que ele melhore, tipo, 100% e não fique nada, tá ligado? Você é louco, um bagulho desse é pesadaço.
Barry! Barry!
Ah, porra.
Hang in there, I'm coming!
Você tá doido. Deve ser assustador, velho. Tipo... Tá louco. Pra ele deve ser zoado, pra vocês deve ser pior ainda, né? Que, tipo, porra, imagina o susto que deve ser, mano. Ele tá recuperando ainda, né? O movimento.
We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Tá doido.
I knew you'd be all right. The flaming eye of Mordor.
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Sai, gente.
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
Sai. Tá louco, mano. Uma situação dessa, sei lá, não sei nem como comentar, tá ligado? Que é aquele bagulho, a gente nunca espera que vai acontecer com alguém da nossa família ou perto, tá ligado? E eu tenho 16 balas, deixa eu ver quantas balas tem isso aqui. 11. Vou pegar isso aqui. Boto fé, mas eu acho que ele recupera assim. Se ele já recuperou uma parte, ele deve conseguir, tipo, voltar ao normal direitinho, velho. Ele tá fazendo o tratamento certinho? Exato, mano. É sempre assim, a gente nunca espera, tá ligado? Quando acontece que vem aquele sustaço, tá ligado? E aí você fica, mano, como assim aconteceu? Eu tô ligado como é igual, tipo, na minha família teve 2 mortes assim que a gente não esperava nem um pouco, tá ligado? Tipo... Exato, não tem tipo uma previsão, tá ligado? Você pode ter a chance de saber quando vai acontecer, mas pode ser que aconteça do nada. Gordo desgraçado. Porque, tipo, se eu não me engano, tem alguns exames, se o cara tiver, tipo, com sintomas, tipo, evidentes, dá pra saber, né, se vai dar um AVC ou não, e, tipo, tem como até amenizar o impacto, por assim dizer, né, a forma que vem de uma vez. Tá doido, mano. Melhoras pro seu irmão aí, ele vai ficar 100%, se Deus quiser, tá louco. Esses bichos soltam umas frases muito aleatórias, velho. Eu acho que esse e o último são os mais curtinhos. Porra. Os mais longos eu acho que são os primeiros. O primeiro é um curtinho. Tipo, não é pequeno, mas também não é grande. O segundo é um pouquinho maior.
Let's keep our eyes open.
Sim, velho. Pois é, tipo, recentemente comecei a comer muita coisa gordurosa, com preguiça de fazer as paradas, tá ligado? Comida e, tipo, comecei a comer lanche só e comecei a sentir o corpo ficando pesado, tá ligado? Aí eu me forcei a andar mais e praticar exercício. Acho que eu vi uma coisa se mexendo. Os caras estão ouvindo coisa já. Esses slow motion é muito da hora. Eu acho engraçado que essa empresa, não sei se é Remedy ou Remedy, né, que pronuncia, ela gosta de gente com problema de cabeça, né, velho? Alan Wake, Max Payne, ou aquela... eu esqueci o nome da menina, do Control. Tudo gente com problema de cabeça, velho. Tudo maluco mental. Porra, do elevador que demora pra descer, mano. Esses gordão não para também não, né? Né? Ai. Tô aqui já. Ah, eu que tenho que apertar ainda? Porra, você tava do lado, gordo safado. É. Tem umas que usam a receita que já não é mais legal e não para também, né?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
A Ubisoft com Far Cry, mano. Tipo, já acabou a graça do Far Cry. Tipo, o pessoal que joga Far Cry ainda joga só porque talvez o vilão seja legal. Porque, tipo, Far Cry virou tipo a mesma coisa com um vilão diferente, maluco diferente. Não, vai dar merda. Ah, é. Aí eu vou ter que passar por ali e subir a pé, porque eles vão passar e eu não. Quer ver? Ó. Ótimo.
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it alone through the top.
Sou o principal, caralho. Relaxa, eu que escrevi a história.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Ok. Tem minha lanterna, respeito. Acho muito bom que nunca, tipo, mesmo se não tiver nada, você aperta pra correr, ele dá uma esquivadinha.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Mentira. Cara, acho que é assim, mano. Chegar aqui. Tentar me esculhambar, sendo que eu sou a principal. Ixi, ué. Ah, não vai parar não? Ai, caralho. Não? Ah! Suave, mano. Bom estudo aí.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Enough. You will go no further. Stop. Stop now.
Vai! Vai! Cara, corre. Quando cansa, parece que tá cagado. achei que não ia dar o pulo, velho.
Young man, come quickly now. Inside.
Respeita o pai, meu irmão, sou o principal.
You made it. Well done. Glad I was wrong. But it was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe. All the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Caraca.
There's an old army base at Rainbow. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now.
Porra. Véia rica do caralho. Sai, mulher.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence, in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Esse finalzinho de capítulo são muito foda, velho. Vai tomar no cu.
White crippled wings beat in the sky. The harbingers of war with their nature revealed, and our chances flowing by. If I can let the memory heal, I will remember you with me on that field.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song.
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
Bom, eu vou parar por aqui.
I had a hangover.
Vou comer alguma
My head was
coisa.
about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
E aí fica pra próxima live. Provavelmente eu faço mais uma live mais tarde. Porém, vou dar uma pausa agora por vários motivos. Primeiro a coluna. Tem também o... Vou dar uma pausa da vista. Vou tomar um café também, descansar um pouco. E mais tarde eu entro de novo. Então fica assim e até mais.